let's get right into it. So first of all, how in the hell did Jeff get on this show? Because not only is he like a felon, he's a felon. He's been arrested for possession of drugs, dealing drugs, assault. He was in federal prison for like 3 years. And I'm like, there's no way that this man passed the background check. So I'm thinking either this show knew that and wanted it to be like this, huge reveal, or they just did a terrible background check. And I just do not think that TLC does not require top-notch background checks. The Game Show Network requires FBI level background checks. So I'm just not believing it. I think they knew. And I kind of think they were seeking somebody like that. That's what I think, because there's no way, guys. This dude has been getting locked up since 1997. There's no way that you guys did not know about that. What do you guys think? Do you think that they were searching for felons, or that they just fell in love with Jeff so much in the interview that they were just like, okay, even though you're a felon, we still want to work with you? I'm thinking they were searching for felons, because there's no way that a guy with such a decorated rap sheet is on this show unless they wanted it. Now let's talk about this protective order that his ex-girlfriend, who was the mother of 2 of his children, his youngest son and his son who passed away, she actually filed a restraining order against Jeff. And here is what she had to say in that order. Guys, I haven't read it. I read the first 2 sentences and I was just like, oh gosh, they gotta know about this. His ex says, "When I got back to my house, I was attacked by Jeff. He repeatedly bashed and slammed my head into the hard wood floors of my home. He dragged me through the house by my hair and continued throwing my body into walls and furniture. I know this because of blood on my walls and furniture, etc. Also, the couch was overturned and the kitchen table was moved several feet. I screamed for him to stop multiple times. This went on for approximately 30 minutes. My nose was dripping blood into my mouth, so he made me wash my face, whip the lights off, and blow my nose. He flushed the toilet paper down the toilet when I was finished. He then ordered me to get into my bed, which I did to stop any further abuse." Whew. He got on my phone and began deleting all contacts, texts, emails, voicemails, and pictures between us. He spent about 2 hours on my phone while I laid in bed beside him pretending to be asleep. He pulled the screen off the front of the phone and disabled it so I could not call or text anyone. Then he put it on the bedside table. He also synced my iCloud to his MacBook. When he was finished going through my phone, he tried to embrace and apologize to me. I told him not to touch me and quickly jumped out of bed and ran out the front door to my neighbor's house. I rang her doorbell and asked her to call 911, which she immediately did. Now, Jeff denies doing all of this. He says that she is only doing this because they're in court right now for custody of their son together. However, there was also a police report from that same night. So after she called 911, the police came and this is their report. The arrestee was initially taken into custody without incident. While in custody, the arrestee attempted to kick out the windows of the patrol vehicle. Officers removed the arrestee from the vehicle and applied leg restraint. The arrestee made further attempts to damage the patrol vehicle while his legs were restrained. The arrestee was removed from the vehicle again and further restrained. Woo, Jeff. This explains the change.org petition to get him off the show. I was just like, what did he do? Okay, he's a felon. He sold drugs. That's what I'm thinking. I didn't know anything about this. And I'm reading this and I'm like, let me tell y'all something. There are women and men, everybody in between, who do falsify abuse to penalize their partner, especially if their partner is a felon. There are people who do that. We watch Love at the Lockup. We know how, the free partners treat the felon partners and try to do things to control them, specifically controlling them with calling the PO and all of that stuff, right? We know that. Reading that, unless she's Stephen King, I don't know how she could make that up. That was very descriptive. The whole thing where he turned off the lights while I blew my nose. How do you just make stuff like that up? People can make stuff up, right? But it was very detailed. Very detailed. And then we get the police report confirming his behavior. Yeah. TLC, did y'all read this stuff? 90 Day Fiancé, did you read his rap sheet? Did you read the police reports? Like, how is sarcasm finding this so easily? That's very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. And listen, y'all know I've already felt like Varia was in danger. Varia, you in danger, girl. You in danger. I can't believe that they gave this man a platform. That is really sad. It really, really is. I'm kind of disappointed. No, not kind of, I am. I'm really disappointed that you would give somebody who would do something like that to anybody, especially a woman, a platform like this. Because here we have, if you go on his lives, there are women throwing themselves at him. And I'm like, you're endangering other women. That's really disappointing. As soon as I Googled his name, I started seeing all of this stuff. And I'm just like, this was very easy for me to find. You know what I mean? And then people were sending me stuff and I'm just like, this was very easy to find on Jeff. How did the show not find this? And for somebody like me, who's terrible at Googling stuff, for me to just Google his name and everything comes up about this man, everything frightening comes up about this man, lets me know that the show knew. I think they were seeking felons. I think they were seeking felons and they got Jeff. You couldn't get a felon that was nonviolent? There are a lot of nonviolent offenders. You couldn't have got one who was dating somebody overseas? This was disappointing. This was really disappointing. Now we see why he played his role so well on Snapped. When he played the BTK killer, very convincing. Very convincing. Let's talk about Ash real quick. I knew that he had some issue with his eyes, and I was not shocked that he had Graves' disease. I was not shocked, but disappointed that he had to say something about it because people were making fun of how he looked. That's really, really low. Really, really low. He's a gorgeous guy. He has an issue. He actually had to reveal that he had Graves' disease because people were tearing down his looks. So unfortunate. So unfortunate. And I don't care how old you are. Stuff like that still hurts. You know what I mean? And it's probably something he's had to deal with his entire life, explaining to people why he looks a certain way, which is very unfortunate. And I believe that there's none of my subscribers were going to his Instagram or making fun of him on Twitter. We're better than that over here. You know what? Yeah, I don't think any of you would have done that because nobody has yet to say anything about Ed. We've been very respectful because that's what we do over here at Nikki Star TV. We crack jokes, but we don't tear nobody down. Unless you're Jeff. He deserves it. I even feel bad for saying that. Oh gosh. So hard being a good Christian woman. Have y'all seen Jorge? Because he is snatched. He just released a picture of him on Instagram. And I'm just like, how are you doing all this in prison? But then I realized that he's in federal prison because he doesn't have any violent charges. He was just there for drugs. And speaking of that, there was somebody in my comment section who had a problem with me saying that the reason why Avery was not arrested or any charges filed against her for doing a drug deal on TV or why she felt comfortable enough to do a drug deal on TV was because of white privilege. What I was saying with that was Black and brown people are not the majority of people who are dealing drugs, right? They are the majority of people who are incarcerated for dealing drugs. That's what I was talking about. And speaking of Jorge, he was actually locked up for dealing marijuana. Selling weed. He was actually locked up for that. Now, it was legal in his city, but it's not legal in every city. It's not legal in every state. So he's probably crossing state lines or crossing city lines and selling weed. And what I know about the feds from watching The Real Housewives of New Jersey, nothing personal, is that they watch you for a very long time. They watch you and wait for you to mess up, and they don't just get you on the first one. They wait until you have messed up several times so they can put you away for a very long time. If you're an Avery, you probably won't do any time. You'll probably just do probation. If you're a Jorge, you're going to do 3 years. And that is the American way. So that's what I was saying. And that is the truth. And when a person of color tells you about racism, especially a Black woman, believe them. Don't question it. If you feel offended by that, it's because you don't value somebody who does not look like you. And that's the God's honest truth. Let's move on. So Jorge is looking snatched because he's been working out a lot in prison. And he was saying he runs twice a day and just making it seem like he has a personal trainer in prison. And if he did, I wouldn't be surprised because, again, he's in federal prison. Federal prison is where they sent Martha Stewart. It's Camp Cupcake. It's not like, murder prison, assault and battery prison. It ain't that. It's federal prison. You're doing crimes against the government. You're scamming. You're doing things like that. They're not, especially if you're nonviolent, they're not putting you in the same place that they would put somebody who's a serial killer. You know what I mean? Like Jorge and Jeff would not be in the same prison. So I think that he probably shared this Instagram picture himself on his Instagram because he probably had a phone in federal prison. And I must say, homie was snatched. Really proud of the work that he's doing. I don't know if we'll see him on another season of 90 Day Fiancé. It seems like this show keeps up with him. So we may see him again. The only reason why I think that we might not see him is because Anfisa has moved on with somebody who, can we be real, looks like she's with him for money. Anfisa, girl, keep on securing the bag. So I don't know which one of you guys mentioned it, but I forgot that Darcy had a clothing line. I think one of you mentioned that she like relaunched it or whatever, or like was doing something new and like revamping it. So I went to her Instagram and I checked out her site, and guys, I'm not shocked. Like, Darcy is from Jersey. All of that stuff was knockoffs. All of it. There was one bag that I thought was, cute. It was like a knockoff Gucci. If I was still in Philly, I would have copped that. But I wasn't surprised. Like, that is how the Silva twins dress. Like, very rarely are they draped in like the original designer. A lot of stuff that they are wearing, guys, is knockoffs. A lot of it. When Miss Darcy wears the real thing, oh, she will make sure you see all of it. Her first season, Darcy was looking like she robbed Canal Street, baby. Now she is wearing the designers, but in the beginning, sis looked like a Philadelphia scammer. Now she's looking like a New York scammer. With a dash of Jersey. Because she still mixes in the knockoffs with the, designer brands. We still see it. We can see your knockoff Fendi shawl with a Gucci belt. We see it, Darcy. We see it, but we don't judge you because you're from Jersey. Now let's get into some love after lockup tea. So, guys, I was looking at, first of all, I just Googled Tracy because I wanted to, like, after the season ended, I wanted to make sure that she was still clean from rehab. So I just Googled her name, and the first thing that came up was her cameos. I didn't know that she did it. Apparently, her and Clint have been living very well off of, the cameos that they have been doing. And the first cameo that I saw of Tracy's, I was very concerned. She did not look good. She looked like she was getting high again. She had on a raggedy wig. Her behavior was just abnormal. It just looked like she was back on drugs. And that's not what I wanted to see. I'm hoping that this cameo is really, really old because it was posted recently on YouTube, but it could just be an old cameo. If you guys know what cameo I'm talking about, please, give me an update, good or bad. I just want to know how she's doing. But yeah, that cameo was a little alarming. And then I started looking at her other cameos and she looked really different because there was a time when she was clean because I could see it. Her and Clint were doing cameos together and they looked really, really healthy. She does not look the same in the most recent cameo that I saw. And it's unfortunate because, we're all rooting for her. We really, really are. Let's talk about somebody who is not rooting for her. Clint. I was looking at a few of his lives. He is done with her. I don't know what happened. I don't know if maybe after rehab, she just decided that she did not want to be with him anymore. But now he is now telling all of her tea. He was on his live talking about how she cheats on him, how she has stolen money from him. He was talking about how he took her to one of her dealers to get some crack. She was in there for a very long time. And when she got back out, he realized that she was having sex with that dude for crack. And I'm like, what? First of all, none of that made sense to me. Do I believe she did it? Absolutely. But I was just like, Clint, it sounds to me like you were pimping out your wife for crack. Because you mean to tell me that as a husband, you were going to drive your wife to another man's home, you sit in a car and wait for her to go and talk to him or do some kind of drug deal and you just sitting there and listen to the radio, even though she's been in there for over an hour and then she gets back in and then you discover that she's had sex with him? It doesn't make sense, even in crackhead terms. You know what I mean? What man drives his wife to another man's house and he sits in the car? A man that's pimping his wife out for crack. That's exactly what happened, Clint. I am not believing that she was, deceiving you and making you do all these runs for her to get crack and you didn't know what was going on. Just like I am not believing that you were sitting in there watching her, ingest meth into her body and you just watched her in the Walmart parking lot and you're sitting right next to her and you didn't do anything. Please. please, like that makes no sense. He's always telling their stories, but removing himself from the situation because he doesn't want to look bad. And it's just like, dude, none of us believes that you're clean. We know that meth is your drug of choice and crack is her drug of choice. We don't believe you, Clint. Stop with the lies. Also, I can't believe, there is no bar too low in hell that fans of TV shows won't go after. Because apparently Clint has a new woman named Genevieve, and Tracy posted a picture of her on her Facebook, and she was just like, this is the woman that Clint left me for, and she was a fan of the show. She became my friend, and then all of a sudden I look up and she's sleeping with my husband. That all sounds crackish as well. I'm just like, what is happening here? Something is not making sense here. And you know what I say, guys, when it doesn't make sense, it gives me storyline, because even on Clint's live, he was saying, oh, I shouldn't say this because I might get fired from my job. So at this point, he's still employed by Love After Lockup. So I'm assuming that him and Tracy are coming back for another season. So if Tracy is posting about Genevieve, this fan that befriended her and is now sleeping with Clint, that makes me believe that they are building up their storyline. That's what I get here. However, it's highly probable that Genevieve was a fan of the show and, went after Clint and Tracy to probably get on the show, or just because she's a fan of these two people, she wanted to get close to them. That actually does happen. So both are believable. It's just something about the telling of it I don't trust. And so I just feel like that maybe this is just, them revving up for another season, which is going to be very interesting because the show normally is filming or normally should be filming in about a month or so, or if not right now. I think they start filming in April or May. So the show would be gearing up to film right now. So it's going to be very interesting to see where these couples are going to be by the time the show is able to start filming again. What do you guys think? Do you think that Clinton's actually cheating on Tracy with Genevieve? Or do you think that this is storyline? Let us sister know in the comments section below. Megan, Michael, Sarah, and Miss Maria. No real update with Megan and Michael. They're really done. Both have moved on, so I don't think we'll see Megan next season. Michael and Miss Maria, the last thing that I know about that couple is that Miss Maria was posting pictures of her in bed with Michael and Sarah's oldest daughter and taunting Sarah. And I'm just like, how low? And I'm just like, girl, eventually he's going to get sick of that and he's going to side with his baby mama, because regardless of how you feel about her and how he tells you he feels about her, he is still attached to that woman for the rest of his life. You and him could break up and y'all can never see each other again. He will always have to share some kind of space with Sarah. So, ma'am, that is a very slippery slope. I would never play with that. Never go after the baby mama or the baby father. Even if your partner is trashing them, do not entertain that. They could be pissed right now, but Lord knows he been in it before. He'll be in it again. Stay woke, Miss Maria. Stay woke. And you're too big for that. At your big age, you fighting with the baby mama on Instagram? Are you 17? That's what Z? That's what Generation Z does or X. The one after the millennials. Because I was even thinking millennials too old to be doing that too. Michael and Sarah. So recently they were spotted coming out of a liquor store and Sarah was looking real happy getting her liquor for Michael, because you know that she likes to get him drunk and have her way with him. I don't know if she's looking to get pregnant because she dropped a lot of weight. She looks good. She really looks good. She's worked out. Probably, her true husband, Emmy, helped her lose the weight, but she looks good. She looks really, really good. And she looked really, really happy chatting it up with Michael. So either two things are happening here. These two are back together, or they've really never been apart and everything that we have been seeing has been for this show. I'm not sure, because I don't feel like they could really fake some of the stuff that we witnessed. But a lot of stuff they could just be putting it on for the sake of storyline for this show. So I'm not sure. I am not sure. But one thing that I am sure of, that Sarah is very happy to have her Mandingo warrior back in her bedroom. Because I'm just like, where are y'all taking that liquor? You know what I mean? They were in Rochester at a liquor store. You taking that liquor back to your home and you about to get yourself a serving of Michael. So I can't even get mad at her no more. She's in love with that dude. It is what it is. Lay off her. The only thing I'll come for is that black scent and her using them kids. But she's in love with the dude. So I'm not shocked that she's here. I'm not shocked that she looked really, really happy. Just cheesing. Like she was cheesy. Ear to ear. Ear to ear. Just so happy with Michael. And Michael just, looked high. Like he always does. Like just, whoo, the bar is in hell. But it ain't too far in hell for Genevieve. And Sarah's a flat tummy tea influencer. Not surprised. Listen, she got to secure the bag. She got all them kids. She about to have 6 more by Michael. So listen, do what you got to do, sis. Secure the bag. That's all the tea that I have. If you have any more tea, let us know in the comment section below. Or you can hit me up on Instagram at... And speaking of tea, the majority of my tea came from Stargasm. Check out Stargasm. Also, I did a little bit of research on YouTube and watched a couple of people's lives. And my girl, Dinah, I hope I'm saying your name right. She always hits me up on Instagram with the latest and greatest tea. And I'm so thankful because she keeps me up to date on everything that is going on within 90 Day Fiancé and the Love After Lockup world. And she always apologizes. And she's just like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I hope I'm not giving you too much information. Girl, it's never too much. Thank you so much for even thinking about me and keeping a sister up to date with all that's going in the world. Thank you so much, Dina. Truly appreciate it. If you guys like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you soon for something else because listen, all I got is time. Love y'all. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Love ya.